Heyo everybody, Haku here with my live reaction or read through for Urek Mazino Tower of God Urek Mazino, chapter 45. We're finally caught up again, so I'm recording this, just woke up Tuesday morning. I'll probably be recording this Tuesday mornings from now on, at least I'll be trying to. So yeah, it's nice being caught up. Where we left off, I have really, and even with people, other Tower of God creators and stuff outside of videos and stuff, I have praised the Mago and Edwan fight. I thought the Mago and Edwan fight was really good, actually, in terms of the writing and choreography and all of that. I thought that was solid. I thought that was really nice. And then maybe I should have ended it 2 chapters last time, because we got a chapter with Rue and Neo. And I will be honest, I don't think that a lot of the needlessly complex, very convoluted stuff is very good in the Urek spinoff. I think if we simplified a lot of that, it would make the characters a lot better. Like, I was just getting to the idea that, oh, Rue being like a tower-made antibody is kind of a neat, different thing. It's kind of an interesting twist. But then we get this backstory, and I feel like this backstory would have made a lot more sense and been a lot more emotional if Rue just was a regular guy. Because you've got Neo, who it's like, okay, now you're cursed to repeat this test again and again or whatever, which again in the grand scheme of the tower doesn't make the most sense, but we can just say, okay, things are weird in the tower sometimes. People must just forget he exists. Somehow nobody can tell, but he takes it again and again. And then if Rue was a regular guy, it's like, oh, he runs into this regular guy this time, and even after all the times he's been through this test, he makes a friend. And he gets the joy of climbing, the joy of adventuring back again. And he's willing to be stuck here and everything and just let, Rue move on and all and be safe and everything. But then he gets cursed and his wish is basically reversed, and now Rue is stuck here too, and it's all his fault. And now he's like, I've trapped this guy, the one friend I've made after all this time I've been repeating the test. I think that would have been really interesting, and that is still kind of what happened, but Rue is also in this cycle because he's like a tower antibody already, and he is specifically here because of the weird anomaly that Mago is. So I feel like Obrion was maybe a little bit unnecessary, and as much as I like introducing even more new irregulars, and even more of the former Shining Ones, who it was explained to me in my voice. Jeez, that sounds awful. What the heck? What the heck? It was explained in the comments that, because I was like, okay, so were these Shining Ones not Shining Ones? The Shining Ones became, like, after being the Jewels, became the followers of Phantaminum, who were now not Jewels any longer. So they are former Shining Ones. So seemingly, since Urek is the only one who wasn't turned into a Jewel, Urek is the only one that still has the real, true, unending Shining One powers, which is why Mago wanted that. Which is why Mago, despite being a former Shining One, didn't have that herself. But that feels a little unnecessary. The Ark and John stuff is incredibly weird. It was incredibly weird when it was first brought in, and it's incredibly weird now. It's like, oh, this doesn't really exist. It's just an illusory test. And that illusory test was always a part of this castle, even before the Phantaminum followers came in. It's so weird. It is so weird. It just feels unnecessary. It feels like we've thrown it in on top of other things, and it's like, why? Would the story not be roughly the same without it? So yeah, I feel like a lot of this stuff, again, it's not as much complex as it is convoluted. I don't think most of it's necessary. I don't think it's very good. I think a lot of it it's so convoluted that it takes away from what would be better characters were it just simpler, were it just as simple as, okay, instead of being like, oh, the Schrodinger's cat and all of that, just being like, okay, Leo made this wish, and because of the way things work, the way that things are being shown, the wish did not work out how he expected. Be like, okay, Urek settles that, and it's like, okay, Neo was created by the wish, but can Neo be his own person now? Kind of carry on that will and all of that. Can Neo be his own person? And then he makes his own wish that messes things up with Rue. And then Rue is just this normal guy, but we see him here, though he loses his memory each time. In this time, he's made friends with Urek and Rohan and Evelyn, and he's grown and learned, and it just feels weird being like, okay, and he's also a tower antibody, and he also repeated things, and he also was made just because of the Mago distortion and all. I don't know, it just feels like some of these things see you through too much at the wall, and it made the characters less good. But either way, I guess that's a long intro aside. Let's continue reading. Somewhere in the castle. What just happened? I'm not sure. The blue-haired man disappeared as soon as Neo placed the gem in the altar. And now it just looks like everyone's just waiting for something. God, this is so frustrating. I should have gone with them. Well, if they'd realized we escaped, we would have put the others in the cell in danger. And somebody is appearing where they are? It's Neo. So this is where he was sent after leaving where Mago was. Neo, how? You traitor. Rue, let's go. What? It's time to undo the past. We have Evil Part 1. Sometime in the past. There, that island appeared out of nowhere, shortly after Lady Mago manifested. Those spirits have been emerging, and trying to reach Lady Mago's castle. I've blocked their path for now, but the situation's becoming a problem. And kill them. We see Obrion just take one out. They're only illusions. The more of them you kill, the faster Mago will rise again. And again, why? Why does Mago get energy from killing something that doesn't even exist to begin with? Were they people that Mago killed on the outside that are now trapped as part of her soul, and killing them again and again will, revive her? And the sooner you'll have the world you've been dreaming of. Present. And we have hands being thrown between Obrion and Urek. He catches Urek's hands, but then Urek's able to get a hit off on his face. Same traded there. Most martial arts that are based on an unknown power are often not very practical, but when it's mastered by someone like me who truly wields that unknown power, it can be extraordinarily destructive. He rushes in. They clash again. And we have a stab into Urek's midsection. He's coming in low. Urek dodges back to avoid. Trying to copy someone else's technique again, huh? Don't worry, I'm much stronger than them. We have rushing in again. He'll probably come in low. Then he's able to go in for his face, but he avoids it. Follows up with a kick. His kick it's coming up. And is he going to catch him straight in the balls? Nope, he lands on his leg. And then kicks off from it to get distance. Urek charges up a blast and fires off. They go in again to clash hand to hand. And they're still going. But Urek's taking more damage from it. And I wonder, is this because Obrion is using, he mentioned mysterious power. Is this because Obrion is using Shining One powers? His, abilities from the outside? Licking blood. It happens kind of a bit in Tower of God sometimes. Your blood still tastes the same. Enough with your nonsense. And he runs off up the steps to get Urek to chase, and then ambushes him. Urek cuts through his attacks with one big punch and goes for another from behind. We get more of them trading blows. The choreography here doesn't line up super well. They clash attacks. Still clashing attacks. Okay, still going. Still continuing. And the energy is flying off from the both of them. How much longer can you keep this up when Mago's already taken your powers? Until you die. And he charges up a huge ball of energy, obviously. And I never know whether to call it Shinsu or not. You really haven't changed. You have a big burst. And then creeping darkness from the shadows. I'm thoroughly enjoying trading blows with you again. And a big sort of stand, I guess, behind him. I was trying to think of what to call it, but kind of. You're way too weak for this to be any fun, Obrion. The counter of good and peace. Evil. Once again, evil's not the opposite of good. Evil coexists with good. And everyone harbors a bit of evil in their hearts. Again, very Kingdom Hearts, all of this. Convoluted nonsense. They run into Jean again. That's why. He prioritized his own wish in the end. Come on. Humans cannot rid themselves of evil. Okay, so is he going to be trying to pass the castle test then? And that's how they're going to rewrite the past? Is they need to pass the castle test. Thanks for sharing your sage wisdom. In return, let me share something with you. Mago never took away my powers. When Neo stabbed me, he only took a tiny fraction of my light. That means I'm far stronger than you think. And he kicks downward. Maybe humans can't rid themselves of evil, but it looks like they can still beat it up. Isn't that right, Emperor? And the stand brings up the sword again. Lots of runes being used. It slashes with a sword. Obrion can turn light into darkness. And this man. So is this just what the former Shining Ones can do? Counter hope, counter light. And this man used to shine the brightest out of any human I knew. At least that was until Obrion took his light away. Near the altar with the princesses of Zahard. The great Edwan intends to stay a while longer. Alright, we'll be going then. It's all over now. The test will be halted. I'm glad you've come to your senses, but punishment will be handed down soon regardless. It's your responsibility to restore order to the remainder of the test. Do I make myself clear? Yes, Your Highness. I'm very sorry. Let's go. So is Asa actually fixed? Good luck on the test. So the Kun family's leaving, including, I don't remember her, Shine. I was about to call her Bright, but that's Sharon. So Shine, I think. So they're all leaving. Thanks for your help. Miss Sheni Zahard. Does she not care at all about another princess of Zahard? And then something's forming up. Right. Chungum has brought the Mago dust. Who? Good. Now I won't have to go looking for you. You're quiet. I've got a proposal that you're going to love. What if I'm not interested? Then I'll kill you. Let me explain this one more time. If you swallow this gem, Lady Mago will enter your body. I understand if you feel a bit uneasy, but it'll make you stronger. I'll do it. Huh? She just immediately goes for it. The only ones who turn down power are those who have never felt hunger. Oh? So she immediately takes on Mago? Lady Mago? Is this going to backfire where he was like, oh, a vessel to put Mago in, but the princess the princess has already dealt with being the vessel for so many things that maybe she can just actually suppress Mago and take the power? Thanks. You picked a pretty one for me. Okay, so maybe it is Mago in here, but I'm thinking the princess might actually be able to subjugate Mago's spirit or whatever. Alright, another chapter where, I'm still having fun with it. I'm still having fun, and all, but writing-wise, it's not very good. It's just not great. I'm having fun. I want to see more of the characters, see where things go. It'll be neat if we can get Neo and Rue passing that test, rewriting history or whatever. But since they're just kind of constructs that are part of the test, John doesn't really exist. Ark doesn't really exist. I think if anything, they're sort of similar to the God of Guardians, maybe, in that they're just made fake people to be a part of this test. I don't know what the end goal is. If they do pass the mansion test, I don't really know what that actually does for anybody. But I think at least for the emotional side of things, that's what Neo needs to do now. Neo is rewriting the things that he did wrong before. The Oberon stuff, I think the powers are neat, but we haven't really established the difference between Shinsu versus Shining One powers that well. I think we should have maybe done that, because like I said before, where I'm like, I never know what to call what Urek's doing, if what Urek's doing is Shinsu or Shining One powers. It's easier to assume Shining One powers, but we didn't establish the distinction that super well. I think the princess stuff is interesting. Chungoom is still actually Chungoof, still kind of a goof. I think the princess might just be able to take in Mago's spirit and actually suppress it, but what does that actually mean for the princess? We still don't have a name for the princess, like Mesheni didn't call her by name or anything. The Kun family's leaving, they're like, Edwin handled it, whatever. As much as I try to enjoy it, I'm just still kind of like, I'm enjoying myself making videos on it, but once again, the writing is just, again, not the worst thing I've ever read or anything, but also not very good. I don't know. I'm just pretty torn on it being whatever. There being stuff that's good, stuff that I really enjoy, and stuff that's not very good, and stuff that it has potential to be very good, and I'm rooting for it, and I'm hoping it's good, and the results are questionable. But either way, I suppose that's it for this week. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Like if you did like the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of the chapter, my first thoughts and reaction. Subscribe for more. Tower of God, Urek Mazino, much more on the channel. If you want to help support the channel by dropping a super thanks or sharing around, it's very appreciated. If you want to help support the channel by becoming a member or patron, you get One Piece Bingo a bit early and your name at the end of videos. Thank you for people who are already members and patrons. Thank you to chosen regulars Evan Hawley and Bertie Wooster, Magical Girls, Dee Van and Maru, Cheriton Student, David Langstaff, Slayer Candidates, SG and Stan Cedar, and Pure Elements, Pater Dale, and Elsa the Storyteller. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.